Everybody, we are back. I know the time has finally showed up. It is Trust Chart Day. What a time to be alive. I can't believe it. So what I think I'm gonna do. Oh, wait a minute, that's not the one. That's the Senate. There we go. I think what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna do the House first. Special power in the chat. Let's go. Everybody will start floating here in a second. I already know it. Usually how it works every single time. So I'm sure it's going to be a wild time. And the extra stuff I'm going to do, I'm going to talk about this whole Greg Ballard thing briefly. Oh, wait a minute. Actually, I'm missing, aren't I? Hold on one second. There we are. Yeah, so it's going to be a fun time. Let me move this up over here. Biggity bam. All right, cool. I'm going to disappear so you can see everybody of who we're going to be talking crap about and also who's going to be on the trust chart. So let me move that up a little bit. Perfect. All right, everybody can see everything. I'm going bye. All right. I mean, pretty easy. The bottom shitbag level is what I call them. I'm in a mood today. I'm kind of like Grouchmer right now. Ragemer is what sometimes they call me. Friday night, it's beautiful out right now. I'm sure there's going to be a bunch of crime in this garbage city. So, obviously, we have to go with the bottom row, and it all starts with the people that voted no against redistricting. As you can see, and then Ed Clear. You know, I found something funny on Ed Clear today, too. He had a bill that would not elevate the crime if, like, somebody put, like, HIV stuff on you. Like, you imagine all these AIDS people throwing their AIDS on your burger, and then they don't get in trouble with it. I think McNamara and Ed Clear was part of the bill. It's kind of crazy, especially looking at it now. Let me zoom in a little bit. There we go. All right, so we got Ed Clear at the bottom. Oh, we got Democrats first. Obviously, we are never, ever going to trust Democrats at all. They are crazy. They are delusional. They are hypocrites. All the above. They will never, ever be anywhere above the 5D in the corner. They are going into the corner. Dems are going in the corner. After that would be Ed Soliday, Mr. Energy Bro on the House side, and I'm sure I'm hearing Shockweiler might be replacing Soliday as the energy person pretty soon. We'll see. Jim Pressel, and obviously a hard no. If you remember last year, he was the one, and I know some of you are like, oh, well, he had HB 1200 with that had like the CDL stuff. Yeah, do you remember last year when he had an amendment to allow state-to-state truck drivers have an Indiana CDL? So if you were like in New York and you had a CDL, you were able to go to Indiana and then just automatically get an Indiana CDL. No, thank you. Also, like some of the bills and a lot of things that he voted on, not that great. But then we go into some of the other people, like Danny Lopez, voted no on redistricting. Yoakum, Jenda, Meltzer, Mayfield, Lehman. Now, these are people that are in red districts, not Lopez so much. And I understand where, like, I would give him the benefit of the doubt that he's just using that as a political tool. Like, hey, you know what? I got a re-election. I don't want people using this against me. He could have been in the 5 Charlie spot, but then it was all these garbage income tax bills or property tax bills. Just nothing that came out of them. Also, the bill that he wanted to give the IEDC a lot more money to, and also like, hey, nonprofits have authority on what they can use the IEDC tax credits on. No, thank you. Same thing with Meltzer, hard red district, and then she voted no on redistricting. She is a bottom tier trust person. Same thing with Piggy Mayfield. No bueno at all. Unfortunately, she will ruin her at least the primary. I thought about not having people on there that are retiring, but I want to make sure Karakov gets his proper goodbye. And hey, guess what? You're on the bottom tier. Steve Bartels, he had to do with that hemp bill. And basically he's part of that safe and regulated coalition. It's basically a bunch of GDP bros that want Indiana to turn into California. Ethan Lawson, Shockwire, like I said, McNamara, and Jake Teshka. Teshka is on the we're not going to execute child rapist bandwagon, and we just can't have that. Listen, pretty start. It's an easy bar, right? If you do not want to execute child rapist, you're going to be in the bottom tier of me ever trusting you. McNamara, not that great of a chairwoman, not that great of a bill filer, not that great of reading the room. Polly in the chat, let's go. And Shockwire, like I said, Hamilton County GOP GDP broad. She is on the bottom tier. I am hearing that she is going to be replacing Soliday as the energy queen. So pay attention to that. All right. Oh. Moving on, Rare. Some of these people, honestly, were just like, I don't know. I just don't care. Rare, I was advised to put her into a bottom tier, which I'm like, that's fine by me. Todd Houston. Some of you are thinking, well, wait a minute. He was on the bottom tier last year. I was like, yeah, you're right. However, he was pro redistricting. Listen, I want winners in my corner. That's what I want. I want people that are saying, you know what? Democrats will obviously want to sacrifice your children to Moloch. They want to tune up your kids. They want to kill the babies. They want child rapists back on the street. They want third world savages in this country. And then Houston recognized what was going on and said, no, thank you. Ben Smaltz. Okay, so Ben Smaltz was one of the people that was pushing for the stadium. He did a good job on a redistricting, but also, like, the same thing with Houston, also was pushing for the stadium, which I don't want taxpayers funding a liberal $1 billion infrastructure. Heath Van Natter, safe and regulated, bro, can't do it. Doug Miller had that awful trying to fix the SB1 bill. Timmy O'Brien is kind of a dope. He is more of a bro than anything. I don't think he's actually there to do anything serious. Also, I have a hard time trusting realtors. Olthoff, same thing. I think Bobby Morris, he was against executing child rapers. Can't have that. Jeffrey Thompson. He's kind of like half retired, it feels like. So no good on that. Craig Snow, same thing with the taxes bill, can't do it. Dave Hall, I was recommended to put Dave Hall in there, and same thing with Jack Jordan and Kendall Culp, so I'll take their word for it. Moving on from there, Tim Wesco. Wesco was part of that. He kind of did not want the immigration bill, and can't have it. I've been hearing some stories about him. Can't do it. Julie McGuire, she heavily supported Natalie Goodwin, so she's always going to be in. She'll never reach above the 4 tier. All right. Anybody that endorsed Natalie Goodwin will always be in the bottom tier of the trust chart. I can't trust you ever. Where are we at right now in Marion County? We have 3 empty positions. We have in Marion County for the state rep right now. We have 3 possible way of winning seats right there with Mitch Gore, Moed, and Renee Peck. Peck is like never at the state house. There's plenty to drill her about, and you guys have nobody trying to run in those seats. Again, lousy chair, lousy state rep. No thank you. Zimmerman, can't do it. Baining, I don't know. He, for some reason, the last 2 years, he's been okay. I thought his education stuff has been okay, but at the same time, he supported Natalie Goodwin, so I can't do it. I'm petty like that. All right? I'm very petty when it comes. I have a line. David Abick. Bo Baird, just can't trust. Judy, I think he was one of the not going to execute child rapist people. And then everybody else is just like mediocre. Stewart did okay, I thought, but... I will gladly door knock for Stewart as long as we don't get Sid Mahant in there. All right, moving on. Hunter Smith, another guy, he would have been in the 4 tier. You know what? Want to know why he wasn't? Because he went onto the podium and then supported taxpayers funding infrastructure for a liberal billionaire's sports stadium. No, thank you. Craig Haggard still can't get past it. You know what? Just he didn't do much. I understand he's running for Congress, just can't do it. And everybody else is kind of normal. Dave Heine, people told me to put him in 5A, so I put him in 5A. Now, Michelle Davis, you're probably wondering why. Listen, everything that I see around with state representatives or legislators in general, I'm throwing them all in a big pile and seeing what's going on. Whether it's how they did at the State House, who they're supporting, what they voted on, fundraising, which is an important part because right now she's having a fundraising event. And I noticed that Damian Pondle is on one of the people that are sponsoring it, along with a couple other people. Let me see if I can find. Yeah, I mean, especially with that grifter Tony Samuel too, and a couple other people with who do I not like here? The Indiana Apartment Association, Streetwise Properties, and Damian Pondle. If you guys forgot who Damian Pondle is, it was Diego. Here, let me just pull this up real quick. This is why Michelle Davis would have been at a 4 tier, but she's at a 5A right now. Here's why. You guys remember Damian Pondle when we were talking about V24 Works? And I said, wow, it's really weird that he has a address that goes to a building that nobody's there. And when I talked to him personally, he's just like, yeah, that's where we get our mail sent to. Oh, that's cool. And then don't forget, like, Diego's wife was the president of V24. V24 is owned by Damian Pondle. And also, look, Damian Pondle and Fabio Dela Cruz. Fabio Dela Cruz, the same person who went to India with Diego. So anyway, if you're not paying attention who's giving you money, that's obviously that you're probably going to be either corrupt or can't be trusted. All right, moving on to the 4 tier. Dale Devon. I didn't really have anywhere for that. JD Prescott had a really good immigration bill. Do not trust him on property taxes whatsoever. Joanna King actually did pretty good. Oh, by the way, I should have put Rob Green at a 5A. That's my regret. Something that I found out about him just yesterday, and I didn't have a chance to update it. But anyway, he should be at a 5A. Ducky here, let's go. That's all right. All right. Hey, the whole trust chart will be posted on Twitter and Facebook tonight when we're done here. Kyle Pierce. Kyle Pierce is one of the, by the way, another thing too, if you want to increase your level on the trust chart, reply to your emails, okay? It's that simple. Hey, maybe when we email you, and then, hey, we got a question about why you voted against this bill or for this bill, or, hey, what does this bill actually do? And you don't reply back to us, you're not getting an increase in the trust chart. Kyle Pierce, I don't really trust him that much, but he automatically gets into the 4 tier because he actually replies back to our request for information. Chris Jeter should actually be a 5A, but he did okay this year. That's all I'm going to say. Same thing with Lindauer. He didn't really do anything. Some of these people are soft and squishy, but at the same time, they kind of keep their nose clean. And Becky Cash did a really good job. You know how we're saying about Lopez that I would give them the benefit of the doubt because they are running for a re-election. It's going to be really close, so they have to have that. Hey, guess what? They're going to use this against me. So Becky Cash would probably be at a 3. I'd love to put her at a 3, but hey, I gotta play balls and strikes. Okay. Between the stadium bill and voting no on redistricting. And hey, I get it. I mean, she would have been a 3 if she voted no on the stadium. But she also needs money from the party. So that's the game that we play. Right? That's the game. I don't agree with it. But also, like, not like anybody gives a shit. Everybody gives a damn about this chart. This is for fun. I think all of you guys understand. Indy Reporter calls balls and strikes. We are loyal to the people and we are loyal to the truth. We are equal opportunity crap talkers. All right? And like we'll call everybody out when they deserve to be called out. So we do not play by stupid rules. All right, moving on to the 3. Zach Payne. If I was in a mood when I was putting this chart together, if the same mood that I'm in, like Ragemer style right now, he would be at a 4. But he's not. I'll keep him at a 3 for right now. Hosletter was at a 2 last year, I think, but dude was crying about the immigration bill. It's like, no. I refuse to put somebody at a 2 that was crying about deporting illegals or people that are not supposed to be here. Not going to happen. Larissa Sweet, very unassuming. Garrett Bascom, okay. He's okay. I think he did okay on fighting against the hemp bill, which I was okay with. Jimmy Lucas, you know Jim Lucas, but he would be, I mean, if he would probably be at a 1 if it wasn't for the weed stuff. But I just can't do the weed stuff. I'm too high awareness of what will happen if weed ever get legalized in Indiana. We'll turn like California within 5 years. That's what we'll have. We'll have $15 billion wasted on a train that will go nowhere. We'll have tent cities way worse than they are now. And it'll be more, they'll be everywhere. They'll be in Hamilton County. They'll be in Hendricks County. It'll be awful. And Matt Commons is doing pretty okay. He had a really good bill about foreign adversaries. I liked his moxie. Hey, let me give you guys a little advice. You legislators, a little bit of advice, all right? If you want to have me or have us shill for you a little bit, we want to see moxie. We want you up at the podium and talking crap about Democrats. Like Chris Garton is a perfect example. And we'll talk about Garton when we go to the Senate. So, yeah, good job, comments. Keep up the good work. Jimmy Lucas, always a hoot. But you guys all know who's going to be on the King of the Trust chart. Our boy, Andrew Ireland. 2 years in a row as the King of the Trust chart will always be there. I mean, at this point, he's up there on that lonely mountain by himself. All right. And all of you legislators need to start doing something. All right. Because it's embarrassing, really. Ireland has given you the blueprint to get to the top of the trust chart. He's putting out good bills. He's talking crap on social media. He's putting a line in the sand. He's taking the slings and the arrows from the cray-cray people on the left in person and on the internet. Listen, you could all learn a thing or two about Andrew Ireland. All right, so there's your State House trust chart right there for this year. Congratulations to some of you, and eat it to the rest of you. All right, let's go into the Senate. The Senate one is way more fun. All right, here we go. All right, boys and girls. Yeah, look at that. Originally, it was like down here, but then, I ran this through a couple of people, and like, why are these legislators even up more? And because I have 5 Bravo and 5 Charlie, but then I was like, you know what? Everybody's going on 5 Bravo. So who is it? Well, first off, it's all the senators that voted no on redistricting. That is first and foremost, and Rod Bray gets to be number 1 shitbag for this year. And I hope in 2028 that he gets primaried. Probably not going to happen, because I'm sure every person, every egomaniac is going to run for that position, and then Bray will win because of that. So Rod Bray, Travis Holdman, Flo Rida Mishler, Nightmare Fuel looking Ron Alting, Boozebag Bohatchek, Conservative Dairy, Todd Young Clan, Greg Good, Dipship Dernlock, fuck. We got Boomer Rogers, Baldwin, Baldwin, I would love to put Baldwin more over here, but man, I really dislike Scott Baldwin. What an absolute clown. Greg Walker, crybaby Greg Walker. Rick Niemeyer. Here, funny story. I was watching Rick Niemeyer talk with either Gene Leasing or Linda Rogers, and they're like, Is that guy drunk? It's like, no, that's how he normally talks. Like, that's wild. Like, I know, it is crazy. Brett Clark over in Avon. What an absolute establishment clown is what he is. Brett Clark is the worst. Charbonneau, Kreider, Sue Glick, who needs to retire. These three need to. I mean, when you have to have, I'm not gonna mock people that have trouble walking, but when you're so old that you need a walker, it's probably time to hang them up. Dorio, by the way, if you remember Dorio, he had a bill that wanted to give illegals a driver's license. And Eric Koch gets the last one because he's the energy bro. He's the one wanting the primacy for carbon sequestration, pushing all these data centers, pushing up all this nuclear generation, obviously. Yeah, Baldwin is the absolute worst. He's like the Senate Danny Lopez, basically. And they're in the same area. I've said this for a long time. Hamilton County GOP is just more corrupt Marion County people. Like, the Hamilton County GOP is the worst. It is full of all the standard GDP bros that would probably have basically liberals. They're a bunch of Hulkamites is what they are. All right, moving on. 5A. Uh-oh. I think I goofed up. It's all right, though. Randy Maxwell, Justin Bush, Stacey Donato, and McKinley. Now, people want me to put McKinley on a 5B, but the dude was only there for like a month and a half, wasn't he? For like maybe 2 months, if that. I don't even have enough data. So with that being said, he has to be in 5A. And Donato and Bush and Maxwell, I think they all voted for redistricting, but still on a low tier of the trust chart. Carrasco was originally at 3, but then I was looking for something today, and I realized that Carrasco introduced Natalie Goodwin. So you go at a 4. And, listen, a lot of you people that are going to be making onto the list right now, you're wondering, like, why am I at a 4 or a 3? Well, that's because you endorsed Natalie Goodwin, so you automatically get a no. Tomes and Schmidt, low tier 4. Freeman. Okay, hold on. Make sure about something real quick. Freeman would be at a 2, but then he voted against a bill that would charge someone a higher crime. I think it was like from a misdemeanor to a felony for killing a police canine. And I was like, you voted against that? What are you doing? He voted against, I think it was a higher charge too for hoarding animals. And the stories that these people were talking about of like walking into a house and then there's a dead German Shepherd with its head missing, or with cats that are having limbs missing or their tails, or they're all infected with worms. And then you know who voted against it? This douchebag right here, Aaron Freeman. Scott Alexander, okay. Gaskell did a pretty good job with redistricting. Jeff Ratz, I think I had him in a 2 originally, but they told me to put him at a 3. I'm like, well, I had him at a 2 because he was talking crap to Shelley Yoder, which was awesome. It was hilarious. He was basically saying like, Yoder was like, well, I want to talk about the underlying bill. It's like, nope, we already talked about the underlying bill. We already voted on the underlying bill. We're talking about conference committee right now. So she got so butthurt about it. It was so great. Liz Brown. Now, this was a tough one. Liz Brown was actually a tough one because she recognizes the writing on the wall. Like, she knows she's going to have a tough primary. She's switching everything. But if she wins the primary and wins the general, does she stay this route? Or does she revert back? Yeah, I know, Jimmy. He is lucky to be a 3. Overall, like, I don't have a problem with Freeman, but that was a major knock. He talks crap. I like people that have no time for BS. And Freeman is that guy. Short-tempered, kind of petty, wants to run a tight ship during committee. And I'm okay with that. But if you have a problem, if you're voting no on having a higher charge, when a police canine gets stabbed in the neck and bleeds to death right there in front of you because of some crackhead, yeah, you're getting dropping down a notch. All right, but anyway, Liz Brown did have the half of the Fairness Act, and I saw Ted Rikita talking crap about Liz Brown again today. It was kind of amusing. Tyler Johnson, I've kind of turned the corner on Johnson. I thought he was like a big hospital guy, but I think he's doing okay with stuff. I was recommended to put him at a higher tier 3, so that's where I'm at with it. All right, Gary Byrne. Byrne has a no time for BS either. Also, SB 88. I loved whenever anybody was asking. The SB 88 was the, hey, you know how you have like a pretty good life? You graduate high school, you get a job, and you don't have children until you're married. It's that simple. And anytime anybody asked him about it, he just repeated it. He's like, this is what the bill is. Like, what else do you want me to say? And he got it through there, and it was awesome. It was so good. All right, so who are the final two? And I know what you're wondering. It's like, wait a minute. There's two senators. There's a couple of senators. Andy Zay's not there, and I think Kyle Walker. Where the bodies Walker at? Yeah, because they're retired. That's basically it. All immoral women should be called off and blocked from play. So true. So true. No hoes in office. All right, so there's two. I mean, so Zay is with the IURC now, and then Kyle Walker is not there anymore. He voted against redistricting, but I'm not going to have him on the list because he's not run for re-election. All right, so who are the final two in the top tier of the trust chart? Well, that would be Mike Young and new person along with Mike Young, Chris Garton. Crazy, right? I mean, based Mike Young voted yes for redistricting, had that amazing amendment, by the way, for the trucking bill, for the CDL, said we didn't want asylees, we didn't want refugees, we want English proficiency too, and there was only a handful of Republicans that voted in favor of that amendment, and Chris Garton was the other guy. Push for redistricting, passionate on the podium, hardcore Chad Garton. Now, I'm sure some of you are like, oh, he had that goofy Christmas AI thing. I don't really care. I thought it was a little bit cringy, but overall, didn't really care. I thought it was a nothing burger. So yeah, I mean, this one I really fought with too. Like, was I going to use Chris Garton as a 2, or I was going to use him as a 1? But then, like in the last couple of days, I threw it around with a few people that I trusted, and I gave them like, hey, he's going to be at a 1, and they just gave me the thumbs up. Like, all right, well, let's put him at a 1. We'll see what happens next year. So yeah. That, ladies and gentlemen, is the Senate trust chart. Be posting that picture tonight. It is a good time. That's all I can say. All right, so yeah, I didn't want to make this show too long. Let me bring this up real quick. I want to talk about Ballard real quick. Something that I found last night. I'm not going to give you all the details of what happened, what I found. I'm just going to give you something that's a little bit weird. All right, so I went back and I looked at Greg Ballard's campaign reports, right? I wanted to see if there was anything weird. And the first thing I noticed was it's that date filed. His final disbands was in 2023. But here's the weird part. He posted back in 2022 that he was living in South Carolina. So one would assume that like from 2021 possibly, because this is 22, and up until 2023. Now, I will tell you, I did find that he bought a house in Boone County in 2023, and then the other address was in South Carolina, and I checked on that place, and which looked like just some condo, and it looked like it got sold in 2024. So I don't know if he was floating back and forth and it's like, oh, this is my vacation home in Myrtle Beach or whatever. But I did see the voting record, and I think he did not vote anywhere past like 2021, something like that. So 22 and 23, I think he might have not voted. It's somewhere around there. I can go back and look. Really not that important. What is important? All right, I want to show you guys something. So it shows right here in the 2014 to the 2014 campaign reports. Look how terrible they did things back then. This is awful. This is terrible, man. Like, you're talking about 11 pages like this, too? What are we even doing? Doesn't make any sense. Like, who would have thought, like, oh, yeah, this is how we're going to do campaign reports? And same thing with the following year in 2015. It wasn't until the 2016 when everything started getting changed. Thank God. So, all right, let's go a little bit back. 2014, he had $1 million, or he had raised, I think, cash on hand. So he had $700,000 by the end of 2014. Fast forward 2015, he has $153,000 with this goofy. I'm not even going to attempt. I'm not even going to attempt to try and read any of this stuff. I should, but I'm not, because I don't know what any of this, like, recipient OOAOOC, blah 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 blah. Like, all right, well, I'm not going to figure out, like, Washington Township GOP, $500. I imagine that's a contribution. What is there like a legend what the A stands for? I don't know. But let's fast forward then into the following year of 2016. Nothing's improved. It's just computerized now. Well, except for Marion County, Ducky. Marion County, you can't fill anything out electronically. It has to be done. You have to fill it out, and you have to scan it or fax it. And I'm currently running into this issue right now for the new position that I'm in. I think they want to go to everything that's going to be online, which would be awesome because that would save so much time. But I think with, like, signatures, you still have to email it. And then they have to put it in. All right, let's go into 2016. He had a contribution. It was interest on his account for $81. That's not what I'm worried. That's not what I'm thinking about. Gary Varvel for Prince, Verizon Wireless, no big deal. All right, so Veteran Strategies is the big one. Every month he was given Veteran Strategies like $1,000 or $2,000 or $3,000. This Candy Morant for $1,500 really didn't go looking into it, but Veteran Strategies is the one that I've been looking. Oh no, it has been $1,000 every month. They were adding it. There we go. Also gave money to Todd Young back in 2016. And it wasn't just through this one. I also found it in his FEC. Do I have it? I do. You guys want to see something really funny? Hold on. All right. Let me show you something real quick. So Greg Ballard gave money to Raju for $250. He gave some to the Indiana Republican committee for $250. Gave money to Sparts and Todd Young, $1,000 to Sparts, $1,000 to Todd Young. Also, he gave money to the Democrats and the Republicans in 2023, $50 each. But it's weird that it happened on the exact same day. So I don't know what that's all about. The problem with, like, the Act Blue stuff, and here's funny, he's like, he puts employed and retired. I don't understand all of that, but hey, you know, who am I to say what's up? All right, so you see the Veteran Strategies. They are consistent with the Veteran Strategies happening every month. 2017, let's move on to there. More interest. Veteran Strategies, Candy Morant. Still don't know. I didn't really look into her at all. Same thing again. Candy Morant and Veteran Strategies. Doesn't make any sense at all. Again, Veteran Strategies. Like, you're not even an office. Oh, gave Jim Merritt $10,000. Yeah, I wonder how well that worked. And then was just giving people money. And then Jerry Torr, Victoria Sparks, Hoosiers for Ruckelshaus, who since really, Kyle Walker, Mike McQuillan, who ended up losing his, he ended up losing his election, I think. Veteran strategies again. Actually, you know what? Let me see if I can find out who Candy Morant. Obviously, an Indian. Anton. Yeah, there it is. All right, so Morant and Associates from 2021. Also used to work at. She was a house rep. Oh, interesting. So she was a house rep. All right, let me see. The Morant and Association. Very expensive account. But while that's searching through again, see, this is what they were doing in 2021. They took a picture of it, and then here's what's really funny: they cut and paste. They cut and paste the signature. Like, dude, that looks like forgery. I don't know about you, but that looks like a forgery. That looks like fraud. It's the most embarrassing thing ever. Like, what are we even doing here? Oh, Candy Marat's the treasurer. Okay, there we go. See, if I went back and looked at like the CFA one, I probably would have realized that. Drew in the house. Let's go. Then 2022. At the 4479. 4479. Oh, they actually had a regular one. Oh, this is for 23. Or what? It's filed for 2023. Yeah. There's not even a picture of okay, there it is. Filed. Dude, only the former mayor could get away with this. Can I sign? Yeah, Barbara. Yeah, Candy Morant, who is apparently the treasurer. But then the treasurer. Okay, there it is. Candace Morant. I don't know. She was still getting paid. And then at the very end, ended up giving money to the Marion County Republican Party to finally disclose the or get rid of the fund. The final disbands. There it goes. All right, so I wanted to. So that's what was so weird. It's like 2023, you got rid of your account, but there was like, why did you even have it open though? Were you trying to figure out like, who am I going to give this money to? Like a lot of it. And so obviously he was in South Carolina at that time. So I wanted to see, well, who is this veteran strategy guys? Okay. Well, Mike Pence used them. By the way, this is expenditures. Well, the camera's not on. If you see here, who used them? Suzanne Crouch used them. Grow Indiana Together, which is the weed people, if I remember right. Mike Pence used them, gave $30,000 in 2016. Mike Pence, Marion County. So obviously an establishment guy. Let's go look. Oh, there's his website with a picture of Greg Ballard, who he was serving as the Deputy Chief of Staff and Communications. He was the director. And then he has his own thing. It looks like he's by himself. He's part of the Veteran Business Enterprise, certified by the federal government and registered with the state of Indiana and city of Indianapolis. Indianapolis certified. All right, so I found one of his LinkedIns. Not really anything to it, but then I found his other LinkedIn. He has two of them, apparently. And he's open to work. Yeah, apparently the strategy business isn't working out that well. Is hiring a scene, and everybody's trying to milk it, is what it is. No bong hits. And he's even got his resume on there too. What does his resume look like? So I take it he's not doing the strategies things anymore, right? Because he was the communication director for the Indiana Republican Party, and then he was communication director for Greg Ballard, but only for 2 years, and then he did his own strategy thing, whatever that means. Actually, you know what? Let's look up his name, Robert Bain. I want to look something up. Oh, here we go. So Gary Welch from Advanced Indiana actually wrote about him too. Let's do sort by date. Yo, look at that pimp, Greg Ballard. Hey, man, don't you think I'm an independent, son? Check out my ring. All right. Where is it? City Deal Rich and Tad Miller with Hurt CIB. Dude, dude, Gary Welsh. I wish he was around now. Rip Gary Welsh, but here, let me see, Vane. Let me look him up. All right, here we go. So Greg Ballard withdrew his name for the Ivy Tech president job after interviewing for the job, according to Robert Vane, who was once a paid spokesman for Ballard. So Ballard was going to interview for the job for Ivy Tech president. That didn't work out well. I did Pence's support. That doesn't mean it. Okay. Hey, look, Shreve. Look at Shreve. Look at him. Look at Shreve. Marion County GOP imports Bloomington resident to fill Jeff Cardwell's council seat. Wow, huh? Yeah, your pal Barbara in the chat. Let's go, Jew in the chat. Let's go. Reopening the Gary Welsh case. If that's true, that'd be insane. Hey, I said it from day one. I don't think he offed himself. Dude, if you go on Advance, if you go onto this blog spot and look up, type in Shreve, there's so much good gold over there. I mean, it is just mouth salivating. It's awesome. Yeah, Skinwalker's right. Dude, he looks like he's a clone in this picture. But anyway, Marion County GOP leaders imported a longtime Bloomington resident and businessman to fill the vacated by Counselor Jeff Cardwell. All right, what else we got? Let's see. The delegates. Oh, we got delegates were Greg Ballard, Jennifer Ping, and Cardwell. The alternates were Winnie Ballard and Robert Vane. Anything else? Former Pence finance director working to defeat Murdoch while fundraising for Romney. Oh, Robert Vane works with Ops and the Super PAC. Ah, interesting. Very interesting. Marty Ops, that son of a bitch. Our community, yeah. Why is Indianapolis investing in a risky business? This is from 2011. To finance a risky downtown. Oh, wow. This sounds really familiar. Sheila Kennedy had a spot on column in today's Star questioning the Ballard administration to finance a risky downtown hotel mixed-use business project known as North of South. That's funny. Reminds me of the Signia Hotel. I'm going to save this right now because I want to see if any of these pundits are going to talk about how many weird stuff was happening during the Ballard administration. And a perfect example would be this one. Mark Miles tied to Ballard's shady $32 million electric car lease deal. The Vision Fleet that still took. And by the way, I need to find, Barbara, I need your help on this one because you actually had posted a video of Aaron Freeman asking during a committee meeting about the Vision Fleet. And I have to go back and find it. Yeah, that's what it is. The Blue Indy guy. Yeah, I think Vision Fleet is Blue Indy. Right here, the proverbial shit hit the fan at tonight's Public Safety and Criminal Justice Committee. Oh, this was Aaron Freeman. Okay, this is the day. All right, now I know where I have to go. All right, no bid $32 million lease agreement with Vision Fleet, a completely untested, heretofore non-existent company under the administration entered into the corrupt, one-sided agreement with the company without consulting with the council. The criticism of the deal came both sides of the political aisle. The harshest criticism came from who? Aaron Freeman. Wart, let's go. Yeah, Vision Fleet is Blue Indy. Vision Fleet, a Delaware corporation, by the way, listed a registered office in Venice. Freeman learned by searching Google Earth that its office that was Indiana Vision Fleet was not even registered with the Indiana Secretary of State until a month after the city of Indianapolis Department of Public Works under Director Lori Meiser entered into a costly long-term contract. Nobody ever wants to talk about this. Where's all the pundits at? Where's Jimmy Briggs at? Where's the YouTube guy at? Where's everybody else on this? Why aren't we not talking about it? It's like, this is the guy that you would want to be Secretary of State? Crazy. The blue Indy cars riding. Yeah, I think I saw that. I think Vision Fleet is. Oh, let me look this up. Yeah, this is Indianapolis that talks to end controversial Vision Fleet contract. $32 million for electric vehicles. Long-standing point of contention between the council and Greg Ballard. What an absolute... I mean, you know, if I could had time to read through those campaign reports, Vision Fleet, IBJ, here we go. Good thing that I have an IBJ subscription, boys. A legacy shaped by deals. This is awesome. Oh, that's so funny. Everybody's shilling for him. Eat it. By the way, also expanded Indigo, sold it as an utility, Indianapolis Utilities to Citizens Energy. Here we go. We got a council to sue over the $32 million one. This is so funny. Nobody wants to talk about that, though. Dude, Ballard would have had the perfect legacy where everybody would have been, like, chiming in. If Ballard actually had some balls, he would have went in there and run as a GOP, run for Secretary of State as a Republican. An independent, everybody's, including me. Well, I take that back. I take that back. Indy Reporter is the only one talking crap about Ballard. Everybody else is shilling for him. They're all hanging on Ballard's balls right now. It's absolutely disgusting. There's not a single pundit out there that is willing to criticize Greg Ballard, which says everything that you need to know about them. Yeah, I think that's what it said. I think that's what Freeman said too, Barbara. It was like a month afterwards. The company registered to do business. The register for a company in India and Clean Tech System Solutions, a for-profit company whose business address, blah, blah, blah. That, of course, is the same address used by Indy Partnership, a nonprofit economic, company. Yeah, it's all, everybody is, dude, does this not sound, this is why everybody keeps saying that Indy Reporter was actually Gary Welch, because we have the same mannerisms. Like, hold on, it gets even more interesting. Yeah. Dude, you imagine a team up? So crazy. Yeah. And then it got expanded to recycling, Drew. And that's how we got smaller trash cans, was because of that. That was the trade-off. We get smaller trash cans, the liberals get recycling. And then you're going to have the foreigners that don't know what recycling is, and are going to use it as a trash can. Miles. Anyway, 75. You know what? What are you guys doing right now? You guys doing anything? Right now? Okay, let's go have some fun. All right, hold on. Let's go have some fun. We know what the date was. There was a 2015 in April. All right. Let's go find this real quick. This was which meeting? Public safety criminal. Let's go back in time and see if we could find this. This one, regional operations, April 8th, maybe? Hold on, let me see. What date was that? April 29th. Oh, okay, so he did it on the same day. April 29th. Okay, this might be it. Yeah, this is it.
Ladies and gentlemen, seeing a quorum, I'll now call the Public Safety and Criminal Justice Committee to order. As you know, we're meeting in room 118 tonight instead of our... Okay, our final order of business tonight is a presentation.
That's correct. Could you describe
about 200 to
Okay, I want to see where Freeman starts spurging out.
what we're doing well, what we have obstacles on.
That's correct. Aerial.
nation based on record.
No, not on this
You,
channel, Drew.
Counselor, okay, Counselor Freeman and then Counselor Oliver.
Okay, there we
Madam
go.
Chair, I'll say first that I find it beyond maddening to me, at least, that with all respect to Jeremiah, I'm once again confronted, as I was in January, with being as angry as I've been in my 5 years on the council. And I don't have the Director of Public Safety here. I don't have the Mayor Chief of Staff here. I don't have the Police Chief here. I don't have anybody, right? And we all know why that is. And, Counselor, to your question, it's because we're putting a square peg in a round hole, right? We've put the cart before the horse. We've entered into a contract that is for $74,074 per car, right? And now we're trying to make this work, and it doesn't work. The men and women of IMPD, and I'm not trying to speak for the FOP president, he certainly can do that for himself, but we've got officers that are serving in administrative functions, no question, but that have other responsibilities, like ERG, SWAT team. I had a police officer at my house on Friday, right? Brings his kids over, playing with my kids, having a good time. I had a machine gun in my driveway in his back seat because he doesn't have a trunk, right? It's ridiculous. I mean, it is absolutely beyond ridiculous.
Councilman Freeman, define machine gun for me.
That we're doing this to IMPD. So Jeremiah, let's start. You're the guy here, and Chief, I'll say to you, as I said to you in January, God bless you, right? This isn't you, but you're the member of IMPD that's here. So for the second time, I'm going to tell you I love you, and I think you're a great officer. You do a great job. Maybe you're the chief down the road, I hope. But look, you're the one that's sitting here, and I appreciate it, right? But it has nothing to do with you, and this isn't directed at the men and women of IMPD. Jeremiah, this contract was signed by Director Lori Miser. She was the director of the Department of Public Works in February 18, 2014. Is that correct?
I believe so, yeah.
So why did this not go through purchasing is my question. So under 261-304, Fleet Services is who buys our vehicles, as I understand how city government works. So why did we not do that process?
The contract based on, and I can let OCC answer that from a legal perspective, but the contract was vetted and is appropriate through state statute and the like.
So I appreciate you're not being a lawyer, and I don't need a lawyer to justify to me what happened. I want to know.
Oh, look at that. Lori Miser is now the vice president of Pacers Sports and Entertainment. Wow.
What was so imperative about this contract that we didn't go through Fleet Services like we would do, I think, most every other contract that I've been aware of? I don't know. Mary, you've been here a long time.
Fleet Services is a division of the Department of Public Works, therefore Director Miser would be the one that would sign that contract.
And I anticipated that was going to be. There's been more meetings about this leading up to it than a presidential candidate has leading up to a presidential debate. And I appreciate that, and I want everybody to be on their toes. And I appreciate the connection that Lori would be, or now someone else would be, over Fleet Services. But who's in charge of Fleet Services?
The Director of DPW.
Is there a man who manages Fleet Services on a daily basis? Is there a director?
We have a Deputy Director in that position, Ronnie Roton, that's been there for just maybe about a year now.
Okay. So why didn't the Deputy Director sign it?
Because the Director signs those documents.
So if this committee asked Fleet Services to bring in, let's call it the last 4 years of contracts for vehicles, am I going to find Lori Miser's or Andy Lutz's name on all of those contracts?
Well, I don't know that for certain just because Lori was only here for about 3 years, the same tenure as mine, frankly, and so I don't believe there were any other agreements related to vehicles during our time. I believe this was the only one. I could be wrong there, but I believe it's the only one.
In approximately 2011, as I understand it, and I couldn't find the exact date, but I think I'm right. In 2011, the mayor issued a directive that we were not going to purchase any more vehicles. Is that right?
December of 2012 was when the executive order was signed.
Well, you're talking about the one that we're going to single-handedly rid ourselves of foreign oil.
The one that asked us to move to alternative fuel vehicles by 2025,
Right.
yes.
I'm talking about a different one. So in 2011, my understanding is that the mayor signed an executive order saying we're going to, because the budget was awful, we didn't hire police officers, we didn't do a lot of these things we didn't have the money to do, but we didn't buy any cars. Is that right? We hadn't bought cars in a long time.
We have bought very few cars in a long time.
So in 2012, then we're going to move to this. We're going to, by the way, we're now having police officers, Rick, that are charged to take their cars home, and now they're paying more in electricity because I'm plugging them into my house. But
That's actually, they are being reimbursed for those.
Oh, they
dollars.
started to be reimbursed.
They have from day one, yes.
I feel like we've accomplished something, Madam Chair, so I appreciate you putting this on because they had not been for a long time.
They've been reimbursed from day one.
That's not been my understanding, but
Happy to show you the records.
okay. Let's get well. If you want to talk to me about records, so why is it that I have a contract, master fleet agreement between Indivision Funding and the Consolidated City of Indianapolis, that I mean, I think I'm reading like the CIA redaction of killing Osama bin Laden. I mean, I've never seen so many black marks in my life. Can you speak to the redaction? I mean, I've got entire pages, Jeremiah, that are redacted.
The redactions were approved by Corporation Counsel and the state public access attorney as under the ruling that they're trade secrets for Vision Fleet.
Let me ask you this. I happen to practice law in my day job, and in almost any contract that I've ever read have been a notices provision, right? And that means, so when I want to sue Mary, right? Mary...
Not too soon.
Thank you. For example, hypothetically speaking, I sue Mary, or we enter into a contract, and if I'm going to sue Mary, in every contract I've ever seen, says Mary is Mary Moriarty Adams, this is her address, this is her phone number, and she will receive service there. And the same thing would go for me, right? If Mary's going to sue me, Aaron Freeman, here's my address, here's the phone number. On page 19 of this document under notices, it is blacked out. What possibly could be a trade secret that we blacked out who we're going to serve when we sue one another?
I can't answer that. I'm not an attorney.
I can't either.
What I will say is that council attorney, Fred Beestecker, has had the opportunity to review the unredacted contract, as have other council staff.
And my understanding is he's got to sign an agreement not to talk about it, right?
That's between Vision Fleet and council office.
Which makes it a little difficult, right? So as my lawyer on the council to talk to my lawyer about it, that makes it a little hard, don't you think?
I am not an attorney. I can't speak to that.
So entertaining.
Here's what I want to...
By the way, Aaron Freeman has not changed at all. This is how he is still in 2026. All right. When I first started paying attention to him last year in 2025, he is this way all the time.
Let's look. By the way, this took me about 10 minutes to do. Okay. So today, I'm not practicing law for living, earning a living. I'm doing this.
Do we have a copy of the contract?
I can get you a copy. I got one.
You didn't bring us, sir. You didn't bring us a copy of the contract.
No,
This was very hard to
hundreds
get.
of contracts. I've never.
I mean, no, I ain't talking about 100 contract. This contract.
No.
You don't have a copy of it?
I do, not with me. I was asked to give a presentation, so that's what I'm doing.
Well, I mean, no. I understand that we can get it, but I don't know why they came here and didn't have this contract.
Could
Joe,
I
I'll show you.
interrupt here just a second? I see Andy Seward in the back. Andy, can you explain why a lot of this is blacked out? Why a lot of basic information is redacted from our review?
It is, the public records law allows trade secrets to be confidential.
Trade secrets.
How is this a trade secret?
Well, I can explain some of that because of the manner in which the financial model is created. So folks could go and take that information and become competition for them in other cities and states. So it's a proprietary way in which
How does the address create competition?
they build the model to make this work from a business standpoint, from a legal standpoint.
But we
maybe
won't
Andy
pay
can
for
give
it.
a definition.
And the public access counselor agreed that was appropriate. I would concur, council staff and council was allowed to review an unredacted copy, and I would certainly be happy to go back to Vision and say if other councilors would like to see an unredacted copy upon signing a confidentiality clause. I don't think they have a problem with that.
Well, we're
I'll
gonna
speak
sue.
to them, but
We're gonna sue
they
for
have
this.
not objected to date, so.
We go to
But let me
court for
ask you
this.
something. If this goes through purchasing, as I believe it should, on an RFP, would all that kind of stuff be redacted out of it still?
I would disagree that this should have gone through purchasing. We consulted with purchasing at the front end in actually late 2012, and they agreed that our rental is considered more of a service. This is a fleet management contract, not a lease purchase. So they agreed with the direction we're taking, and actually been nearly constant conversation with them during all this to make sure we weren't doing anything else.
Somebody going to jail.
Counselor, okay, let me.
I don't mean to take all night, and I promise I'm going to do my thing and sit back and let everybody else have fun. But we are Indy Vision Funding One's only client, isn't that correct?
Get Frank in
I don't believe so.
Okay. How about when we entered into this contract, we were their only client? Isn't that true?
We're their first client.
Okay.
Really?
This contract was not bid publicly, correct?
Correct. As Andy said, it's a service agreement that DPW is allowed or authorized to execute.
It was never presented to the council for our debate, deliberation, consideration, nothing like that, correct?
Because it's not required.
Well, now it sounds like you're practicing law, and I enjoy that. But I'm grateful that it's not required because I didn't sign it. So how is it that then this contract was signed on February 18th, 2014. It took me 10 minutes to go to the Indiana Secretary of State's website, look up Indy Vision Funding One LLC, which was formed as a limited liability company on March 19th, 2014. We entered into a contract with a company that didn't exist on February 18th of 2014.
They're a Delaware corporation, I believe.
Well, I'm glad you're continuing to talk because they're a foreign limited liability company. And if you go to the next page of the Indiana Secretary of State's website, they are registered at 1600 Main Street in Venice, California, 90291. Now, what lawyers can do, Andy, is backdate at the Secretary of State's website when you became a business. This was done on March 19th, 2014. They backdated it to February 14th, 2014, 4 days before the contract was signed. Now, if you do a little more, and it took me 10 minutes, Mary. I went to 1600 Main Street, Venice, California. I used a wicked site called Google, right? I Googled it. It's a virtual office space in Venice, California. It doesn't
Seriously?
exist. There's not a business.
Seriously?
It's a virtual office space.
Dude, the hype guy in the background is cracking me up. It's like, you tell him, Aaron. Show him what's up. You serious?
It's a rent by month site, right? You go there, you pay your fee, and you rent it for the month. That's what it is. Now, here's the last thing I'll say, and I'll let it go.
No, keep going. Keep going.
Keep going. Don't stop. Don't stop.
I yield my time to you, sir.
Yeah, I yield all
The registered agent for Indy Vision Funding is Clean Tech Systems Solutions Incorporated.
Oh, yeah.
So what do you do, right? You go to the Indiana Secretary of State website and you enter that. That's what I did. Rick, it took me 10 minutes this afternoon.
Rick.
Clean Tech Solutions, Inc. is at 111 Monument Circle, Suite 1800, Indianapolis, Indiana, 46204. It is a for-profit corporation dated December 9th, 2009. I'll give you one guess, Counselor Simpson. What do you think 111 Monument Circle, Suite 1800 is?
Indy
I know
partnership.
It's a rental.
It's a rent-by-month office space.
Yeah, it's a rental.
Right?
Oh.
Yeah.
Not the Columbia Club?
No.
No. If you Google the address, which I did, right, you get Bose, McKinney & Evans, which is a very good law firm. The other thing you get is the Indy Partnership, 111 Monument Circle, Suite 1800.
I was right.
And at the top of it is all of these agencies that rent space there. One of them is the Indy Partnership, which has something to do with city government and that kind of thing. We entered into a contract that the company wasn't even in existence at the time. We were their only client at the time. We're spending by math, $32 million contract, 432 cars. We're spending $74,074 a car. We didn't have the audacity to call a local car dealer and say, hey, thanks for being a car dealer in Indianapolis. Where'd you buy your Volt, Counselor? You got one.
Skillman in Wanamaker.
We had no thought to call a local business person and say, hey, maybe we can help the bottom line. We need some cars. We didn't call General Motors in Detroit and say, hey, we're looking to...
That's not true.
We didn't.
All these cars are locally sourced.
From where?
From local Butler, Hubler, Bill Estes, Chevrolet.
So the guy
Ford.
buying them and selling them.
I want to see that,
reselling.
right? I would love to see that. 'Cause I would love
Councilman
to
Freeman, I
help.
got a question for you.
Go ahead.
Okay, hold on, guys.
No, I got to ask why he's in this thing. I just need to know what names were under these corporations.
Well, if you look at, so Indy Vision Funding is a limited liability company, and they are registered to this Clean Tech System Solutions, Inc., right? So if you go to Clean Tech Solutions, Inc., and you look at the Secretary of State website for that, it's Paul Mitchell, Mark Miles, David Johnson.
Oh,
So
Paul
those
Mitchell,
are the
you
three
say?
registered agents for Clean Tech. So
My name sounds familiar.
it's online.
Okay, now, before I jump around here.
Okay, so quickly, this is what, by the way, do you think anybody's going to talk about this at all? This is public information. I'm probably the only one right now bringing up this video because this is under the Ballard administration. This was supposed to be his baby, right? $32 million, 70-something thousand dollars per car. You think Briggsy's going to talk about it? I would love for Kendall to talk about it. Do you think any of the other pundits are going to talk about it? Mirror Indy, Indy Star, IBJ? I mean, they have talked about it, but you think they're going to bring this back up? They aren't. Oh, and by the way, while Freeman was talking, and yes, Drew, Freeman is a fucking savage, without a doubt. This is how he is during committee meetings. This is when he is on the Senate floor. I mean, a lot of his votes are really bad, and he's endorses dopes, but by the way, this is what he's talking about right here. Vision Fleet right here. What did he talk about? Clean Tech Systems at 111 Monument Circle, Suite 800. Oh, and where's the governing person at? Michael Bralowski in L.A. LA. Yeah, it's a problem. Right here, March 19th, 2014. It is a massive problem.
Just
And by
give
the
me a
way,
minute.
Christina Scales was the only person to bring this up, besides Freeman, I think. But I do love Simpson. I've never met this guy. Don't even know. I just know that he's a city councilor, but he is the ultimate hype guy.
Counselor Scales.
I forgot. I'm upset. I forgot what I was going to ask.
Okay,
I'm
then
sorry.
let me go over here to
No, Councilor
Miss-
Oliver was
all right,
first.
Counselor Oliver, then Counselor Muscari, and Counselor Simpson. Did you have questions?
I'll wait later on.
Okay.
Okay, we don't need to watch any more of that. But now we have the clip. Now we have the thing that matters. And so what I'm going to do tomorrow probably is clip this whole thing and then show it over the weekend. And I'm sure somebody is watching right now and they're going to have a statement ready for it. But I'd like to know if any of the pundits are going to talk about it. This is prime. This is low-hanging fruit for Kendall to talk about on Monday, where he can be like, hey, Ballard, you were the mayor of Indianapolis for how long? And then you had this thing. What do you have to say for yourself? You're going to be in charge of the businesses, elections, other things too. Oh, yeah, it's going to get around. I'm going to need all of your guys' help. You know, I need you guys to like, share, and comment on Twitter and Facebook when I do push it out. I think I'm going to do the part of where, like, I think I know exactly, because, I mean, look how long this thing is, like 22 minutes or something. I mean, when did it start? 48:39? Yeah, this has been going on for 20 minutes. I can't have a 20-minute clip, but I think I know which one I want to have it on.
Hold on, guys.
No, I got to ask.
Spending
This is where I'm going to have it.
We entered into a contract that the company wasn't even in existence at the time.
4655. That's where we're going to have it at. That's what we're going to start up talking about. It's like, hey, you know, Gary Welsh talked about this. It's on advancing yet. IBJ talked about it too. Indy Star talked about it. I mean, when publications used to do some actual work instead of this, hey, let's set the narrative. Hey, let's protect this politician. And here I am talking crap about everybody. Because I'm the savage. I'm the maniac. When they recycle their puppets. Yeah. I mean, that's why, to be fair, Ducky, that's why I'm not the biggest fan of term limits. Because it's like, okay, so we're going to have to bring in a new guy who's probably going to be even more corrupt. I have not met a legislator. Well, let me take that back. A Democrat legislator that's been better than the previous one. Like when Hogshead eventually gets replaced, the next person is going to be 1,000 times worse. We saw it with the prosecutor. We've probably seen it with the police chief. We see it with legislators too. It's a massive problem. But anyway, I'm going to save that. And let me bring up a few other articles real quick before I take off. Oh, wow. That's the Republicans sent out a hit piece against Sandlin on behalf of Dude, Shreve has been a scumbag forever. Hold on. Take ink taxes for she had a different one. Ballard went, yeah, $32 million with electric car fleet router with no track record. Right there again. Avoidable. I can't believe how redacted it was, though. No, no. You don't want to know because I'm not on there, Special Power. That's why. Oh, here it is. Christina Scales' email to council members helps connect the dots on the city's shady vision fleet. And remember, this all connects back to the Three Kings, too. I mean, that's how this whole thing kind of started. You know, last year with the, there's only one guy who is truly fearless and the best deep ties we were watching. It's so true, Polly. So true. Nailed it. But here's the problem, though. Like, who do they talk about? Mark Miles, Paul Mitchell. Paul Mitchell, one of the Three Kings, part of the IADC. Part of this whole thing, and nobody wants to talk about it. It's all low-hanging fruit. And it just shows that the only reason, by the way, that Greg Ballard is even running as an independent is because if there was anybody else running an independent, nobody would care. There would be less than a libertarian. However, because it's Greg Ballard, with name recognition, with a lot of money and connections, that means things are going to happen. And if I'm the Libertarian Party, at least the chair, I would be freaking out right now. I'd be furious because now there's a chance that they might lose ballot access if they don't have enough percentage of the votes. Here, hold on. Here, just go on to Indy Reporter's Twitter right there. And this was even recent, too. Paul Mitchell is the president and CEO of Energy Systems Network. He was one of the Three Kings. He was on a panel for the IBJ. He was complimenting AES and NIPSCO about working with BlackRock and Blackstone. Oh, actually, this is perfect. Funny talking about this now. Hey, boys, let's talk about Vision Fleet. Funny talking about this now. Don't forget that Paul Mitchell. There we go. Post, baby. There we go. Perfect. Right here again. Chad Pittman, Battery Innovation, Andretti, Purdue, David Roberts, Paul Mitchell. Yeah, it's okay. I'm going to be up north tomorrow. Drew. I'm checking out Wolf Lake tomorrow. Boom. Again, right here. IADC, Battery Innovation Center, Andretti, Chad Pittman, David Roberts, Paul Mitchell. Dude, this is all part of it, and nobody's talking about it. There should be massive question marks about Greg Ballard in this Vision Fleet. It's like, hey, did you know? I'm sure he's going to deny everything. I wish I could read the campaign reports a little bit better. This is where Control F would be my friend right now. But I've never seen anything so terrible. By far the most annoying thing I've ever seen. Entire freaking. Wait, is that the AI one or the E? Anyway, well, there we go. Now you guys know what's going on. Now you know what we're probably gonna be talking about. I was hoping to get off the crapping on Ballard thing because he's gonna have to spend like $100,000 on getting signatures to even get on the ballot. The rent electric vehicle fleet. Hey, somebody, hey, ask Jimmy Briggs and all of them to find out what's going on. I'm not pushing anybody. Actually, you can push her if you want to. Good luck. Technically, I'm not. Technically, I don't have to do anything right now. Hold on, is Paul Mitchell on here? No. Boom, bam, bing, boom, boom, ba, bam. Search. Go. Search it or what, man? Everything going slow right now? Everything's going. All right, well, you're thinking over here. So Vision Fleet. Oh my God, what is going on right now? Ken's not. InBiz is freaking out. I don't know why. I don't know if there's like some kind of weird update or what. Yeah, the service is unavailable. Go figure. The time that I'm trying to find things, InBiz is down. Go figure. Okay, so we're good on that. Let me do that. Yeah, that's probably not going to help, is it? Yeah, Andretti does have some crazy stuff going on right now. Let's see. He puts out like a massive email to everybody about the Vision Fleet. I think his company's connected to Indy of the Indy Vision LLC. All right, let's look. Is InBiz going to work now or no? Hey, it's freaking out a little bit. It's freaking out a little bit, but I think we're okay. That's exactly what happened, Ducky. It's weird timing, isn't it? All right, here we go. Indie Vision funding too. Vision Care Indie Vision. Never heard of this. Delaware too. David Rich, Colorado. Let the same circle build 4,400. That's. We got that. We got that. Got that. Why does this seem really fake and lame? We got to amplify the city's identity. Hey, why don't we just try and get the homeless people out of here? Let's put them in a cage. All right, so we talked about that. I think we're good. I think we're good, right? Yeah, it's been almost an hour and a half. Yeah, so I'll clip that tonight and post that. We're going to have to keep an eye on veteran strategies, even though he's open to work. Because the thing that we have to focus on the most right now is Who's going to be funding? What is this? Oh my God. We have to figure out who's going to be funding Ballard. Dude, what the crap is this? Yo, man. An initiative title, Indy, I'm not done yet. Nah, man. You're cooked, bro. Indy's cooked, okay? It's totally over. Knock it off. What else we got on here? Oh, yeah, that thing. I forgot to talk about this. Elevate Ventures. This happened today. Elevate Ventures expects to begin fundraising this year for a long-planned investment fund. Okay, and then, hold on. You know what? I'm in a mood. Ragemer. Elevate. And then we can see who they're investing in, huh? 2024, huh? Christopher Day getting almost a $500,000 from Our Money. Circular Northwest Indiana Regional Partnership, Render PB, IU Research, Wise IU Research for the Innovation Voucher, Purdue University, Rose-Hulman Institute of Technology. Okay, so how is it giving money to colleges going to give us a return on investment? That's what I'd like to know. Where's the ROI on that? This is not, I mean, Elevate Ventures. This is how you know Braun doesn't know what the hell is going on. When he's like, oh, no, we're going to give more taxpayer money to these dopes that are obviously going to use it to benefit themselves. Yeah, look at this. IADC state contracts right there. $6.5 million. I'm still waiting on the 2025. That's probably going to wait a while, but look at that. And then we got IBJ Media, RJE, Sour Wine. Philip. Oh, wait a minute. Where's Larry Garatini? Larry Garatini, who is pushing for data centers. All of it. All crap. It's fine. All right, boys and girls. That's it. I'm going to clip some stuff. I don't know if I'm having a show tomorrow night, depending what time I get back. I don't really know what to talk about either, but whatever. Next week, I'm going to try and have an indie reporter show. There's enough to talk about, I think, that I can build a show on it. But anyway, you guys have a good night. Have a good weekend. Stay safe, stay dry, stay cool, and do everything that I would do. Love you guys. Bye.